Jordan McClellan here. It's been a hot minute, huh? Well, I just thought I'd greet everyone with a fun video. So here's me walking through nature the whole way back in like April when I recorded this. You could call it a walk between civilization, if you were as pretentious as I am. Anyway, I just thought I'd use this footage and combine it with a little personal commentary from me about me things that hopefully might also be you things. So, way back in the last days of March, the country where I live, Northern Ireland, went into lockdown, just like so many countries across the world. Although the lockdown restrictions have at this stage been alleviated to an extent, we can now meet in groups of 10 people, some restaurants are open, and retail businesses are making a comeback. Yay, shopping! Even despite these things, I still feel that the stay home motto is very much an advised one. Normal life, it's still months away, and I think social distancing will be imperative for quite some time in my country, despite all the people who are absolutely crap at doing it. So, for a boy like me, this lockdown has meant a lot of free time to procrastinate and get frustrated with myself, but also a lot of free time to watch movies.
The movies, like
this activity right here, watching movies,
is
what I want to focus on in this video. You see, though one might call me a cinema aficionado, the free guilty spark of encyclopedic
director,
film knowledge,
Dennis Villeneuve, whatever his name is, he's
a cinephile,
yeah, just boring.
even despite that, I generally don't watch a lot of movies in a week. Well, a typical school week, I mean. To explain what I mean, I would like to compare September, how many movies I watched that month, the sort of traditional back-to-school month with no midterm break or examination periods to affect the rate at which I watch movies or how much free time I have. I want to compare that time of the year with last month. I watched 31 films last month. That's very simply one film a day. A very achievable rate of film watching given the context. But in September, a month with zero coronavirus, but also a month with a fully operating education system, as well as functioning retail stores and like churches and stuff, things I'm involved with. 6 movies. I watched 6 movies. Yeah. I'm not always very good at watching movies. I generally procrastinate quite a lot over what to watch, and the options aren't getting any fewer. You may have heard of decision paralysis that happens to people when scrolling through Netflix. Well, that same thing happens to me, but on a scale that extends beyond Netflix. As some people might say, I guess, we live in the golden age of content. And there are countless options for watching new movies, new TV shows, new anything. No more are the days of having to cash out on even renting a film from your local Extravision, or having to buy it, or having to pirate it. Yahweh forbid. No. Now there is Netflix, Disney Plus, and the asylum trash black hole called Amazon Prime Video. Now, I can easily afford these types of services and have never really gone without being subscribed to one for the last 2 to 3 years. I have few excuses, really, but school is school, and school gets kind of busy sometimes, if not pretty draining. The ritual of concentrating on something, usually over 90 minutes long and much longer than that, after a night of homework is just one task I suck at. First world problem that it But then lockdown came along and frickin' killed school. No homework, baby. No teachers. No socially uncomfortable formal night. Yeah, This is going to be absolutely lit as frick! Oh, gee whiz. I sure do love watching movies. Every day. It's so good. Watching so many movies and having so much free time can be pretty underwhelming when it comes down to it. Well, at least for me it has been. And I'm only watching one movie a day right now. Lots of people often watch 2 movies a day, especially ones that I know from the online film community. And there are film critics out there whose entire jobs are to watch multiple screenings in one sitting. But for me, even this simple routine has created some problems. For one, watching one movie a day with such routine has left me feeling burned out. I don't have the same joyous excitement or anticipation when putting something on like I did when the lockdown was first announced. The first week of lockdown was incredible. I mean, listen to this lineup. From Beyond, Troll Hunter, Christine, The Fog, Marriage Story, I Lost My Body, The Silence, The Dark Crystal.
Hey, that's pretty good.
However, as good as this lineup is, it is not a drop in the quality of the films that I have been watching from that first week, which has made me feel fatigued. It's the routine. So why is the routine a problem? Well, I think before I answer that question, I should make it clear that I don't think having a sort of daily pattern around the entertainment you're obsessed with is necessarily a bad thing. Plenty of people watch a film a day and don't experience any fatigue. I know people like this from Letterboxd who've just built up an eclectic catalogue of film reviews day by day. People who get a kick from watching as much as possible and the greatest variety of things that they can watch as well. I think of the A to Z show whenever imagining that type of person who would have these like gigantic videos on all the films he had seen in a single month of the year, and they only ever involved the new releases of that month, but there was like so much in there. It's almost as if he had seen every release that there was that month, and that was his aim. I don't really know how he kept it up with such energy. However, maybe it is no coincidence that now his channel lies dormant. But to further my point, I think that a significant part of the film culture right now rewards and values this type of viewership. Consider 2 major platforms in the film watching community right now. We have Letterboxd, which I've already mentioned, and then later on I'll talk about Mubi, which I can speak freely about because I'm not being sponsored by them. Like,
This video is brought to you by curated on
the former. Letterboxd, besides being the great library of hilarious one-sentence reviews it is, I think it encourages people to take a collector's or a documentarian approach to film. Though I have no evidence except my own personal experience for this point, the more you review on Letterboxd, the more attention you receive, the more rewarding the platform becomes. Looking at the top reviewers on Letterboxd, they all have a significant number of reviews. This is hardly surprising, and there isn't much to unpack about it on its face. Of course, if you are to be popular on this type of social media, you must be vocal and active. The only way to really be vocal on Letterboxd is through reviewing films, or moreover, making some kind of short personal comment about them, as the Letterboxd aesthetic isn't really friendly to longer reviews. Okay, Jordan McClelland, fine. Tell me, how does this contribute to a routine-based or collector-style viewership of film? Well, it's right there. If you want to stay vocal, to stay relevant on Letterboxd, you aren't going to do it in the way someone might on a forum-based site such as Reddit, a site based around generating conversation directly with other people on a specific topic that you're both interested in. No, on Letterboxd you probably are going to do it free throwing out your 2 cents on a film into the ether, hoping that people smash that like button, validating your 2 cents. There is a comment section on Letterboxd, and I can't deny that, but it's not very well equipped. You can't respond directly to anyone like you can on YouTube.
I can track up here so well on the YouTube. You know, on the YouTube there.
And even YouTube itself isn't a great place for conversation. It often gets vitriolic and unbalanced and distracted. The comment section as well in Letterboxd feels second place within the design of the user interface. All of this contributes to a social media which rewards a persistence in the performance of short film reviews, but not through the stimulation of any two-way discussion. You keep the routine of watching and documenting up, and you will stay cool on this site. That's the routine. That's where I feel the problem lies for me. When I write short, almost reactionary reviews on Letterboxd to the film I have just seen or seen the night before, it gives me the illusion that I have spoken my full thoughts on a film, that I have completed my journey with it, but I so have not. I do not personally operate on that reactionary level. I like to think and ponder the things I have seen, and that, for me, takes time. I like to think that because the filmmaker has invited me into their own personal world, their own worldview, which they spent months or years more likely developing into a screenplay, and then after that they planned it in pre-production, and then after that they reconceptualized it during photography, and then they reconceptualized it again in post, and in that stage they finalized it. They finalized their idea. Because of that process, I should give them some time back. Especially if I get one scrap of suspicion that the filmmaker is trying to communicate something special to me, something personal. I think there's a trap on Letterboxd to say the first thing that comes into your head when composing a review. What if I had done that for a film like Primer, which demands repeat viewings? Or even something as mainstream as Jim Henson's Labyrinth? Yeah, it's weird past me. Well done. This guy on YouTube, on the other hand, made a whole 1-hour video essay on it, which actually aims to think about what the film might be trying to communicate. And that is film criticism. Letterboxd is not a place for film criticism. It's a place for blogging. I don't even think it's trying to hide that it's a place for short, accessible, easy, and quippy little remarks on the movies that you watch every day. But whenever I get locked into the watch a film a day, review a film a day cycle, I can miss things. I don't get to experience cinema fully, though in terms of quantity, I am experiencing quite a lot of it. This is what creates for me cinephile fatigue. One other aspect of this comes from my current subscription to Mubi. Now, I love Mubi so much. It's really opening my horizons when it comes to international cinema, which is what my film school interviewer said I needed to do, as they slapped me and called me a
basic Jeremy Jobs hack fraud.
Now, Mubi primarily boasts, outside of its incredibly passionate curation of a genuine variety of films, it boasts its 30-day rule, and that is found all over its marketing and all over the YouTube sponsored videos that market it as well. Now, this is great because it almost kills that big Netflix, that big Amazon Prime Video problem.
Decision paralysis.
Beep boop bop bop, beep boop 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 bop bop, bop beep 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 boop boop boop. Oh boy, what I watched tonight. There are so many options because I am living in the golden age of content. and I am suffering from decision paralysis. Hey! Did somebody say decision paralysis? Well, I'm your new best friend, pal. Mubi. The 30 days movie thing, the subscription service. You want to watch a movie tonight, but you don't want to make a decision for yourself? Well, this movie here, it's expiring at midnight.
That's pretty good.
Better watch it now. Don't miss out, or else you'll never ever get another chance to see it in your entire miserable life, because we found the only remaining print of it in the burned down ruins of the last remaining Extravision. So it's your only chance. Better watch it now. Better watch it now.
Better watch it now.
You frickin' frick. Okay, I will watch that. Thank you. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow night for the exact same scenario. You frickin' loser. Yeah, so as I hope that hilarious funny skit conveyed to you, the one problem that Mubi aborts, it gives birth to another almost equally annoying problem. For me, I'm too scared of missing out on a film that is just about to leave the platform after its 30-day run. So scared that basically my choices for evening entertainment fall into more of an organised schedule than even just a routine. What am I watching tonight? Well, I'm watching the film that's about to expire before my very eyes. This isn't so much of a problem because Mubi typically presents me with cinema that I am at least interested or mentally engaged in, but it does mean that I watch stuff out of habit more than out of desire. I think of Karsten Runquist's recent comment on this in his Lord of the Rings video, where he kind of rebuts an earlier video of his, which was the Watching 100 Movies in One Summer video, where he says that you shouldn't watch things out of a certain ambition just to watch more movies, but you should watch them because you actually want to. You're interested in them and you have a desire for it. So for me, there you have it. More routine and then more fatigue. But here in the case of Mubi, I get more anxious about just taking a break from watching anything because I might miss something that could be really essential viewing material. Mubi, though it might not mean it, says watch more, feel validated because of it, and don't miss out. Now, Mubi have dulled this issue a bit with their new library section, which will often host films even beyond their 30-day limit, meaning that you have some time to catch up. But then, even films on the library do not stay there forever, and they get swept away in big waves. Luckily, this library isn't big, messy, or sprawling enough to create decision paralysis, so I really can't complain too much at all about Mubi. Overall, I think I personally need to take a break. This cinephile fatigue for me is a problem that extends beyond the cultural influences of platforms like Letterboxd, Mubi, and other places online from which to stream movies legally. It all kind of comes down to my need for more presence in the real world. Film is the ultimate art form, really, for its unmatched capability to put you inside another world. Whether that be a realistic depiction of a life or a culture with which you have really no experience, or a world fantastically imagined and powerfully realised that makes you believe in it. However, that I also feel is a danger of cinema. Cinema can only communicate so much of the real world, and sometimes I think it is better for us film nerds to make sure we go out and experience that real world. So that is what I'm going to do for about a week, shortly after I release this video. But for dealing with cinephile fatigue, for tackling that a little bit more generally, I recommend doing other things that are a little less radical. I recommend just focusing what you watch. Now, that focus can be achieved in different ways. But maybe for a week you could watch films according to a genre or subgenre that you like. Maybe you could watch a series of films by the same filmmaker. Watch films relevant to your current situation. Watch films from a specific culture or nationality. So follow an actor's career. Watch movies that are generally older. Choose a place and time and say, let's explore what movies in this era were trying to communicate. Revisit a movie from your childhood that you haven't seen since childhood. Watch what you want to watch, even if that means turning off one's cinephile, overly bloated, egotistical brain for a time. Whatever you do, make sure that you don't lose the excitement that so blesses the film viewing experience for those of us who treasure it so much. Okay. That's everything I really have to say for today. Thank you so much for watching, if you've got this far. This is quite a messy one, I think. My aim was to make it a kind of like personal rant, little essay video. But in the future, I hope to use this as a springboard to make more videos that are more focused on topics that I want to talk about. More things that are personal to me, but have a much more like clear structure to them. I want to make videos that are argumentative. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you again, and please subscribe and all that jazz. And if you didn't like the video, leave me a mean comment. I love that. So bye.